Hi everyone, it's me B Atikali Sunflower. So I'm on today to do my February reflections. So the dolls that I played with in the month of February was my Paul, Merry Makeup and Pepper doll. These dolls are all 1960s dolls. This Paul doll here is Cindy's boyfriend. Merry Makeup was made from the same mould as Tressie, and she's one of Paul's girlfriends. They kind of hang out a bit. She stole him from Cindy. And my Pepper doll is made by Ideal Toys, and she is Tammy's sister. Pepper also reminds me a lot of Patch, which is Cindy's sister, and her big sister Tammy reminds me of early versions of Cindy. So these are the dolls that I kind of played with a lot. The girls are wearing pink and red because obviously February was a Valentine's theme, and I dressed Pepper in this kind of Blythe dress. I find with Pepper she can wear Blythe clothes and Blythe shoes. I must get her some original Pepper clothes, but they seem to be quite expensive. Paul, these are his original clothes, and Merry Makeup is wearing clothes that I bought from an Etsy seller. She makes a lot of 12-inch doll clothes which fit my Merry Makeup. So these are my dolls. So Pepper, Paul and Mary, and they're all 1960s dolls. Okay, so let's have a look at my journal for the month of February. So for the month of February, my tarot card was Judgement. Let me read from the back first. So for the month of February, I decided to concentrate on my health, as I had a few health issues that I wanted to deal with. And the Judgement card for me, for the card of the month, was to advise me on my chronic health issues. So I put in brackets renewal and healing, taken action on a recent diagnosis that medical professionals were trying to sweep under the carpet, and I've called that awakening and awareness, and to change my habits for the better, and I put that as comprehensive review. So I achieved these 3 goals for my Judgement month. By 1, I had to demand that I get a professional diagnosis regarding my long-term conditions in order to aid my mental health and emotional healing. So for years I've been told that I've got like chronic pain, but they've never actually told me what type of chronic pain I have. And if you don't get a proper diagnosis, there's no way that you can get treatment or learn to accept it. So I managed to kind of get my sciatica diagnosed and my early stages of arthritis diagnosed. So I would say that comes under renewal and healing, because once you know what's wrong with you, you can kind of accept it and learn to live with it. I was also diagnosed in the month of February with another chronic illness by a different health team via a blood test. And the medical professional who reviewed the results was a student. He discussed my results with a consultant who gave me a verbal diagnosis and recommended that I started new medication for that chronic illness. However, my diagnosis was dismissed by a junior doctor who wasn't even part of that health field. So I put my foot down again and said that I need to be, properly diagnosed, because this new condition, if it's not treated or stabilized, it can start attacking organs in your body. So I'm gonna have a proper diagnosis for that next week. The third thing for my Judgement month was that I made changes to my lifestyle and habits to have more control over my pain management. So this included eating more healthier to try and lose weight, changing my activities or gym sessions to stretching, which is Pilates. There's a group that I do called menopausal strength classes, which it's like a low impact kind of weight class that helps people who are suffering from menopause. And I also do water aerobics. I do these kind of 5 times a week. And I've also joined support groups to better understand my condition. So the third part comes under comprehensive review. So that's what I've been doing. So to conclude, having a Judgement card as a card for the month has enabled me to concentrate on my health issues and find some resolution. Back in December, when I done my 12-month spread, I used a deck called the Vision Tarot by Angela Tabb. I got card 20, which is transformation, and it's judgment in the Rider-Waite-Smith. And my meaning of the judgment is no one is exempt from karma. We are all subject to the forces of the universe. If we put out negativity, we will reap what we sow. If we send out positivity, we will be paid back in kind. There will always be a reckoning and a time for self-reflection. In the booklet for the Vision Tarot, it describes transformation / judgment as a profound shift in spiritual energy and how you perceive the world and your place in it. Can be both uplifting, scary. You'll see the truth in others, a sense of oneness, egoness. I can't even read my own handwriting, so about that. I think that says egoness. In a yes or no kind of tarot question, the judgment tends to be yes. Lenormand cards that echo the judgment card. So card 16, which is the stars, represents guidance, insight, following your true path and spiritual awareness, and all this is, to me, closely matched with the higher calling of the judgment card. Then you got the card 22, which is called crossroad or path, and this card is all about making important decisions or choices that will heavily influence future directions. 27, which is the book, reviews findings or knowledge that has not yet been fully evaluated. Then you've got card 10, which is the scythe, which is a sharp, sudden decision or cut that represents a decisive and sometimes painful judgment that breaks old patterns. And then the Tower, which is card 19 in the Lenormand, can represent institutional judgment, legal decisions, authorities, figures, and standing back to evaluate life from a higher perspective. And then the final Lenormand card that I think is very similar to the judgment card is the Cross, which is card 36, because this can represent the ultimate judgment, faith, karmic burdens, and reaping what you have sown. And then, because I've been having like a lot of hand pain this month, I've done a lot of typing because sometimes handwriting is a bit too much for me. So I've said here, judgment as a card for the month signifies a powerful transformative phase of self-evaluation, rebirth, and awakening. It marks a moment of reckoning where your past actions are reviewed to make or embrace significant life changes. This is a card to rise above old habits, seek clarity, and follow your higher calling to move forward. So key themes for the month, if judgment is your card, is self-evaluation and reflection. Take time to assess your life actions and goals. It is a period of introspection to determine what truly matters and what needs to change. Then you've got rebirth and renewal. The month calls for a closing of old chapters and shedding outdated perspectives, allowing a new you to emerge. It's a chance to start over or experience a spiritual awakening. Heeding the call. Pay attention to a calling or major life decision that can no longer be ignored. This could mean a career path, a life shift, or a sudden clear realization. Reaping rewards or karmic results. If you have been working hard, this month brings recognition and results. It signifies that your efforts are paying off. Forgiveness and letting go. A time to release guilt, anger, and grudges. Letting go of old baggage is essential to move forward unencumbered. Action and advice for the month of the judgment. Reflect and reconnect. Use this time to meditate or journal about your life purpose and your current direction. Be truthful. Be honest with yourself about where you are and what you need to fix. Let go. Actively step out of any mental graves like fears, excuses, or procrastinations that are stopping you from acting. If reversed, this card suggests a refusal to hear the call, fear of change, or a harsh, unproductive self-criticism that keeps you stuck. So health is what I kind of base my judgment month on. If you are asking about health and you draw a judgment, it suggests that your current condition is connected to a major awakening, turning point, or call. Take responsibility for your well-being. This card often appears when you are at a crossroads where healing requires not just treatment, but conscious change. It's a moment of reckoning that can lead to deep transformation if met with honesty. Judgment in a health reading encourages you to pay attention to your past decisions, patterns, and how they shaped your current condition. Whether it's how you handled stress, diet, rest, or emotional boundaries, your body is reflecting the choices you made. Recognizing your role in your own health can feel empowering, not blaming. It's a chance to reset. So the zodiac and planet associated with the Judgment card. So the Judgment card is ruled by Pluto, which is associated with Scorpio. Pluto is related to will and intense passion and has a reputation for ruthlessness. As god of the underworld, Pluto can help you bring our deepest and most buried compulsions into the light. Its position indicates areas of life that must ultimately become transformed as part of the soul's evolution. And then the Judgment card is linked to Scorpio primarily because both represent profound transformation, resurrection, and the shedding of old selves to raise a higher purpose. Now with the crystals, it says that clear quartz is good for a Judgment month because it's for spiritual awareness and clarity, and that's a clear quartz picture. And then there's a stone called chrysola. I hope I pronounced that right. I haven't heard of this stone before. But this is for inner strength and communication. So I've just read out to you how my Judgment month went. That's the first thing I read. Then let's talk about books and decks and stuff like that. So I did say at the beginning of the year that I was going to have a low buy. I have to dash that out the window because this month my total spend on decks and books was £216.85. But bearing in mind, these are all the decks and books that I received. So some of them were pre-orders that I had ordered beforehand and paid beforehand. But totaling, if I add them all together, it was £216.85, which is a lot of money. So let's talk about the decks that I used for the month of February. So let's get them out and then we can talk about them. The first deck I used for the whole of the month as a daily pull. It's an oracle deck. Keep it in this beautiful bag. And this is called the Dreamy Home Oracle Deck Fortune Reading. So this is a mass market deck that I got from Amazon. But I do believe there was an indie version with a slightly different name. I actually started to record the pink and red deck hashtag, but I didn't get round to post it because I was a bit ill because I'm having flare-ups of pain, so I wasn't able to post that video. But I did use this deck. So it's got here, Dreamy House Fortune Reading. This oracle deck provides guidance for any questions or situation. Inspired by dreamy pink houses, its tender colours delight the eyes and heart, fostering an aesthetic connection for inspiration. It's got here at the side, clarify any situation in your life. For love and career readings. That's interesting, but I just used it as a daily deck. I really like the colours. So look at the size of the deck. They're really nice. They're kind of like a glittery pink. Then these are the backs of the cards. They just got the name of the deck and the moon. So let's show you some of these cards. So you've got cards like microwave, timing, efficiency, results. Timing is right for a quick result. Use your efficiency widely. Owl. uninvited, change, arrival. The arrival of an unwanted guest will alter your plans. Fan, ease, balance, flow. Rethink your reaction in times of emotional storm. Look at that beautiful cat. Freedom, self-worth, pride. Value your worth and step away from pleasing others soon. So don't be a people pleaser. Broom, renewal, clarity and space. Sweep away what no longer serves you. Make room for new beginnings to enter. And then car, travel, movement, journey. Your story makes a new turn at the next introspection. So I use this card every single day in the morning. So for the first 2 months of February, I use this deck here. It's called the Ascento Tarot, and I'll keep it in this bag. And I paired it with a Lenormand deck. So let's have a look at the Lenormand deck first. So it's just a deck called Under the Roses. I've had this deck for quite a while. It's quite old. The box is quite tacky. Discover the buried secrets in Under the Roses. A charming petite Lenormand deck comprised of 39 cards, including alternative cards for child, gentleman and lady. I love this deck. I also said at the beginning of the year that I was going to use decks that I'm not utilising. So this is one of the decks that I've had in my collection for a little while, and I don't use it that much. So I thought I'd use it in February because Roses is kind of Valentine-y, and it's just got like a February feel to me. So it's just a normal Lenormand. I love the backs, lovely roses. And it's just a clear Lenormand, no fuss, because some Lenormand cards are quite busy and they're quite difficult to see the main archetype. But this one you can see this is a house. You can see this is a tree. I also like that it's got playing card associations in there as well. A lot of the newer decks don't have playing card associations for some reason. Now this card here, the snake, it can be mistaken, I guess, for the lady, because the lady is more prominent than the snake. And these sort of cards kind of throw me when the main archetype is not the prominent figure. Also with the grave, which is the coffin, you know, the umbrella is quite prominent. The lamppost is quite prominent, but it's a natural grave is not the main focus. But apart from just the odd little cards, majority of the cards are clear. I mean, even the scythe, you know, is it the rose that's the main thing? Because that could be seen as the bouquet as well, really. But it's the scythe. It should have been a bit more bigger. The whip is another card. Oh, God. You know, is it the lady? Is it the whip? You know, they need to make the archetype more prominent. I love that the owls, which is the birds, really. It's in twos, because I like to see my bird cards with two to represent the chatter and the gossip. Beautiful child. I think there was a mixture of for the people, like the child, the man and Norman. You either had black or Caucasian archetypes. Stars. The stork. The dog. Isn't it a beautiful dog? The clock tower for the tower. The garden. Okay, so this is the Lenormand deck that I used for the first half of the month. I then paired the Lenormand deck with this Ascento Tarot deck. I'll show you the box. I'll keep it in this bag. This is a really nice deck. It's kind of cartoonish. It's got black edging. It's a mass market deck, as is the Lenormand deck. And it's just kind of colourful. The backs are okay, but I just like the colour palette of this deck. It's quite cheerful. A lot of purples. To me, the purple is more dominant. You know, even though there's other colours, there's purple in almost every card. It reads really well as well. So this is what I used. It actually surprised me, you know, because to me the deck looks kind of gimmicky, but when you actually read of it, it actually gives quite accurate readings. I was very surprised with it. Okay. So for the last 2 weeks in February, I used this deck here. It's called Sweet Dreams. Or Sleepwalkers, the normal I should say, but on the thing it's got Sweet Dreams. I actually got this from eBay, but it is an independent deck. And it came new, it was all sealed and stuff when I got it. And I actually included this in my pink and red decks that I never got round to recording because I was in too much pain. But look at the backs of the cards, they're beautiful. And the edging again is very similar to the first Oracle deck that I showed you, like a nice kind of like pinky metallic. This is not in order because I haven't put this back in order yet, but I used it quite a lot. So you've got birds, fish. I wouldn't recommend this card to a beginner because it's kind of like, well, to me it's kind of dreamy and difficult to work out what the archetypes are. Well, I guess not really, but it's quite a nice deck. This is the mice, like this one here now. For the mice, the skull is the more dominant archetype. So this could probably be misunderstood, and it could even be seen as like the coffin card. The letter. I love the sun card. This is the ship. And I love that it's got like a lot of pink in it, even though there's other colours in it as well. The pink is the more dominant colour. This is an extra card, 37. It's got a lot of crystals in it. These are extra cards. Let me just take these out. The rider is called the Knight. The anchor. It's a very nice deck, very pink, very dreamy, and I really enjoyed using it in February. So I paired the Lenormand deck for the second half of February with the Modern Love Tarot by Effie Dawn. I love this tarot deck. You know, it's quite a common deck, but they paired quite nice together. And again, this was another deck that I was going to include in my pink and red decks, but I just didn't get around to uploading it because I was in a lot of pain while I was trying to film it. I think this deck is out of print, if I can remember, but it's such a lovely deck, and the guidebook that comes with it it's got like a lot of detail in there. I like Effie's guidebooks. Now let's have a look at the books that I bought or received in the month of February. So the books totaled £64 and 2p, and I received 4 books. One of them was on pre-order, which is the first one I'm going to show you, and the other 3 books were inspired by 2 tarot tube enablers, and I'm going to name them Martin from Martin Muslins and Robin from Robin's Reflections. They inspired me to buy 3 books. So the first one that I got it earlier on in the month. This was a pre-order book from Amazon, and it's called Becoming an Exceptional Tarot Reader by Effie Dawn, and it's forwarded by Teresa Reed. I've got quite a few of Effie's books. I've got her court card books, and I've got another one, I can't remember what the name is, but I like the way that she writes. This is Effie here. Very clear writer. It's published by Llewellyn. It's got a very nice contents page. Chapter 1 is about tarot basics, the Journey of the Tarot, the Major Arcana Part 1, Major Arcana Part 2, Major Arcana Part 3, Numerology and the Tarot, the Suit of Cups, the Suit of Swords, the Suit of Wands, Pentacles, and then the court cards. How many pages is this book? 397, so it's quite a thick book. Teresa Reid gives her foreword, introduction. Why I recommend and teach the Rider-Waite-Smith system. It's got here, what makes a deck of cards a tarot deck. And it's got exercises here, so it's got like a tarot checklist. And talks about keeping a tarot journal. And etc. Talks about the basics of tarot. And it's got here myths. You can't read tarot for family and friends. Myth. You have to be psychic to read tarot. Myth. When you draw the death card, you're going to die. Just, you know, just common questions that people have. It tells you how to care for your deck. Talks about wooden boxes, silk scarves, pouches, tins, ritual and charging your deck. You know, getting to know your deck, cards in a positive pile, cards in a negative pile, your deck. And then it's got it's got an interview spread here. That's good because I like to interview my decks. So it gives you a 6-card interview. Well, 6-card interview spread. The first card is, what kind of tarot reading will you excel at? What are your strengths as a tarot deck? What limitations do you have as a tarot deck? What are you here to teach me? How can I connect and work best with you? And what card best sums up our relationship? It talks about shuffling the deck. So you get like the riffle shuffle. You've got the overhand and underhand shuffling. I think I'm more of an overhand shuffler. Washing machine technique, pile technique, card shuffling machine. Oh God, I didn't know. Oh, it's got here. If you suffer from arthritis or struggle with cards manually, a shuffling machine could be your saving grace. Why not traditional? It's practical and efficient. Oh, I might need to look into that if my arthritis gets more degenerative. Fan, scan and pick. Pick a pile, selecting cards via image, roll the dice. There's a lot of information in here. Talks about the structure of the tarot. Let me just, okay, so for the major arcana, it's got black and white imagery. And it's got here the core cards, which is 1 to 7. The Fool, Magician, the High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor, the Hierophant, the Lovers, and the Chariot. In this chapter, you'll explore the first layer of the core of your human development and experience. These are reflected in the first 8 cards of the major arcana. The Fool to the Chariot. These 8 cards are the foundation of human experience. This is the layer closest to you, the one that shapes your first understanding of life and the world around you. These cards speak to the essential experiences you encounter as you grow, and they represent the development of your identity and navigation of immediate or imminent environment. So it's got like the Rider-Waite-Smith card, the Fool, black and white. It's got an affirmation, classic imagery and body language. It's interesting. And then it's got the astrology associated with the card. It talks about the upright keywords. And then it's got the upright meaning. It's got what it means in a love relationship, career and financial reading, health and well-being reading, journal prompts, reverse meaning, sort of like keywords, and then reverse meaning in a bit more detail. Oh, it gives you reverse love relationship meanings, reverse career readings, reverse health readings, and etc. And it does that for each of the 7 core cards. And then the second layer of the tarot cards is strength down to temperance. Then it talks about the numerology and the tarot. I must admit, I do find numbers a bit tricky. But I'm looking forward to kind of learning the numerology of tarot. When it goes into the suits, you know, cups, wands, whatever, and it gives you the same sort of layout as it does for the first 7 cards that I showed you. Oh, this is interesting. So that spreads. Oh, talk about the court cards as well in the same way. And when it's got year ahead tarot reading. Oh, but it's got 2 cards for each month. I just done 1 card for each month for my journals. It's got the Zodiac Wheel Tarot reading. There's also 12 cards. And then a conclusion. And it's got like a reference table. So I'd say like a cheat note. So the 4, upright, beginnings, leap of faith, freedom, new journeys, reverse, naivety, disregard, ignorance and folly. What a beautiful book. So I look forward to reading this. I'm probably going to use it as a reference book, but I will get through it. And then Ethne kind of speaks about her other book. So she's got the tarot court cards, which I have, that's quite a good book. She's got the Tarot Readers Academy.com. That's her online tarot school. Holistic Tarot by Benable Wen. 78 Degrees of Wisdom by Rachel Pollock. Tarot for Self, Mary K. Greer. The Tarot Colouring Book by Teresa Reed. That's interesting that she would put a colouring book in there. It says, this book is a great way to discover the details and symbols of it in each tarot card. This is a book that will allow you to take your time exploring the cards. I won't read them all out, but she just lists a lot of tarot books there, or recommends quite a lot of tarot books. Then there's a bibliography. And it gives Ethne Dawn's Llewellyn address if you want to contact her. So this book, I had it on pre-order. It arrived on the 7th of February and it was £21.52. Now the next 3 books are the books that I was kind of inspired to buy by Tarot Enablers. The first one is this one here. It's called The Divine Patterns of the Biblical Tarot by Kramisma Kalan. Sorry, I can't pronounce the name properly. And I got this book because Robin, who was the enabler for this one, she also inspired me to buy the deck. And I like to have guidebooks to tarot decks if I can. So it's got a really nice bibliography. It's got the major arcana. So the Fool is called the Soul, the Magician, High Priestess, Emperor, Empress, etc. The suits have been changed, so the candles I'm assuming are the wands. You've got the chalices, which will be the cups, the feathers of the swords, and the grains will be the pentacles. It tells you how to use the tarot, how to set a space, how to formulate your questions. Talks about 1 card draws, 3 card spreads, 5 card spreads, how to draw the cards, how to interpret the cards, etc. Keeping a journal, closing the session, ethical considerations. It's got spreads, 3 card spread, setting your intentions, interpreting each position, etc. I also like that the book's got quite nice big handwriting, because that's quite important to me, because some books they try and cram a lot of stuff on the pages and it's quite difficult to read. So the major arcana. I just like the kind of whole Christian ethos around the cards. It's different. So for example, the 4, which is called the Soul, creation of living and being. Then the Lord God formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed the breath of life into his nostrils, and the man became a living being. Genesis chapter 2 verse 7 and etc. gives you meanings upright keywords, reverse keywords. Gives you the card meaning, the card reverse meaning again with a bit more detail. So I bought the deck really to read for my Christian friends, because I've got Christian friends that kind of like pretend that they don't believe in tarot cards, but they always come for readings. So this will be a nice deck to read for them. So this book was £9.99 and I received it on the 20th of February. So the next two tarot books that I bought for the month of February, they were inspired by Martin Muslins. He showed this on his channel. So the first one is called The Towers Behind the Tarot by Alison Davies. Nice hardback book. How much did I pay for this book? It was £15.26, which is not bad for a hard book. It's got like the major arcana inside the cover page of the book. And it's The Witch of the Forest. I'm not sure whether she was the illustrator. And then it's by Leaping Hair Press, which is the publisher. Again, it's got really nice big writing. Talks about the major arcana, minor arcana, and it breaks it down into suits as well. Conclusion, further reading, and acknowledgements. It's got a forward, it's got an introduction. Nice colour illustrations. So for the Fool, it just gives you a story about the Fool card. So it's got new beginnings, childlike wonder, innocence, spontaneity. Once upon a time there lived a Fool, a young boy with the world at his feet and a dream in his heart. So full of joy was he that he walked in a daze and lived in the here and now. Some might say his head was full of air, but they would be wrong. The Fool was fully aware of every single thing, for he engaged all his senses and moved through the world with ease. It's true he had much to learn, but he also had much to teach. For when you wander as a Fool, you wander freely with openness, and this allows you to fully connect with your surroundings. The Fool was flamboyant. He was dressed in bright colours with artistic hair, and he carried in his hand a white flower, a symbol of his youthful innocence. It wasn't an image, it was simply the way he was. Everything was on show, for the Fool was not accustomed to the ways of the world, and had yet to begin his spiritual journey. This excited him greatly. He had been waiting for the right moment, the optimum second, when he would take a leap of faith into the unknown. Those who knew him would say he was a dreamer, and those who didn't assumed it was fear that held him back, when in fact it was the opposite. The Fool was brave and bold, a spontaneous soul who prepared to take a chance. He packed lightly for his journey, for what was the point of weighing himself down? He had no preconceptions or expectations. I mean, I won't read it all to you, but that's kind of like how the story is portrayed for each of the archetypes. And at the bottom here, it's got the Fool card marks the beginning of a new cycle or journey. Keep your head up and step boldly into the future. So it does that for each of the cards. It gives you a nice colour interpretation. This is a Rider-Waite-Smith. And then it gives you a story. It gives you some themes. And then after it's given you a short story, it gives you just like a little blurb about the cards. Is it for each? Is it the major arcana only? No, it's for the whole of the 78 cards. So I'm looking forward to reading some of the tarot stories in this book. And the final book that I bought, Tarot Cheat Formula by Claire Stone. This book was £16.95 from Amazon. Look at the inside of the book. It's like lino, like kitchen lino tiles. Praise for Tarot Cheat Formula. This is the book I wish I had when I picked up my first tarot deck of cards. In the Tarot Cheat Formula, Claire breaks each of the 78 cards of the tarot down and explains what they can mean in each area of your life. So The magic in the question: spreads, general spread, work spread, love spread, financial spread, spiritual spread, well-being spread, psychic hygiene. Concluding the reading. Okay, so this is all about spreads. So this looks like the Celtic cross, the work spread, love spread, financial spread, spiritually spread, well-being spread. Gives you the placements and what each placement means. Then it's got earth, pentacles, keywords, material, work, money, stability, work, education, etc. Associations, air, fire, water. So let's have a look at the cards. So it's interesting because I thought it will be a colour illustration, but they're black and white. Again, it uses the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Let's have a look at the Magician. The Magician symbolises a person who has come into their own. This powerful creator knows exactly what they want and is motivated and enthusiastic to execute their goals. This person is in alignment with their desires. It is as if the universe itself dances to their command. This card is number 1 in the Major Arcana. The numbers represent new beginnings, fresh starts, and golden opportunities. Element air. General reading. In a general reading, the Magician is an excellent card to draw. It's the law of attraction in action within the deck. The possibilities for success are endless. You got what you take to bring all your dreams into fruition. Just need to take action. You have the potential to change anything that you are unhappy with. The power is in your hands. But it talks about like a work reading, what it means in a love reading, financial reading, spiritual reading, and a well-being reading. And then associated key phrases: successful manifestation, go for it, use control, concentrated energy, your dreams are coming true, the ability to make magic and intuition, new beginnings. So it does that with each card. So for example, it gives you the black and white Rider-Waite-Smith picture. It gives you a brief description of the card, a general meaning, what it means in the work reading, love reading, financial reading, spiritual reading, well-being, and it gives you associated key phrases. It doesn't give you the reversed meaning of the cards, which is okay because not everyone reads reversed, but it does that for every single card. This is the creator. So Claire Stone is a spiritual author and mentor. She's the founder of the Academy, the Angel Mystery School, which has won an award for Best Spiritual Course. Claire has been exploring her spiritual pathway for over 25 years as a qualified master herbalist, and also has qualifications in aromatherapy, crystal healing, Reiki, reflexology, massage, second Dikotu, and first Dan Michondo. As well as tarot, Claire loves bunnies, walking in the woods, and magic with like-minded souls. To keep in touch, please sign up to her monthly free magical newsletter. Oh, she's UK based. I might sign up for her letter then. And she's got her Instagram page and her Facebook page handle. It looks like she's also got an oracle, but it's got where you can buy it from. It's a Rockpool published deck. So that's interesting. I just assumed that this would be like just cheat words, but it's quite a detailed little book, and I'm looking forward to working with this book because it gives meanings for other kind of things, you know, like career, spirituality, and all that sort of stuff. So I'm looking forward to reading this book. And look at the sides of the book. Lovely. And you've got like a ribbon there as well to mark your page. Absolutely gorgeous. Next is the decks that I bought or received in February, and I've broken it down by where I got the decks from. So the first deck that I bought is this one here. It's called Cockney Rhyming Slang by Gwen Headley. So I bought these cards because when I was younger, like a teenager, we used to talk like back slang, you know, together. And also, we used to also kind of use like a lot of rhyming slang words. So a lot of my age group parents would probably be in their 80s, 90s, or maybe late 70s, and a lot of them used rhyming slang. And sometimes if I catch up with old school friends, I remember some of the phrases. I'm not as fluent as I used to be, but I just thought they're nice cards to have. So, Khyber Pass. The thing is, right, some of the writings are a bit difficult to read, the font, and that means arse. So, Sherman Tank is bank, and at the back it's got the name of the slang. Jolly Duck Tar is bar. Adam and Eve is believe. Daisy Roots is boots. Fat and Wide is bride. Bristol City is city. Ruby Murray is curry. Jewel Draft is daft. Boat Race is face. Oily Rag is fag, like cigarette. Plates of Meat is feet. Sweeney Todd is the flying squad. Scapa Flow is go. So underneath each term is a little bit of history. Bubble and Squeak, Greek. Ginger Ale, jail. Okay, so this is the deck that I bought from Amazon, and it seems to be out of print, but I think I got a bargain. It's second hand, but it's in good condition. I'm looking forward to reminiscing with these cards. I've also got the Bible in Cockney, because one of my friend's son went to a school and the RE teacher wrote a book called the Cockney Bible. So I'm looking forward to this, because Cockney rhyming slang isn't really spoke no more in the East End, and it's just nice to reminisce on some of the words. So from eBay, I bought the Dead Inside Oracle deck, which I did show you in the month of January, and I've also done a video about it. I bought the Sleepwalkers the Norman, which I showed you earlier. That was one of the decks that I used in the month of February, and that was $14.93 from eBay, and it was new. It was all sealed and everything. The Biblical Tarot, I bought this again on the recommendation of Robin from Robin's Reflection. She showed it on her channel, and I thought, oh, that's nice. I paid £22.74 from eBay, and it was new. It was sealed and everything. So these are the backs of the cards, which are beautiful. And then they're kind of like glossy cards. And it's got the soul, which is the 4, and it's got creation of a living being. You also get like a study guide with it as well. Then it's got the magician, Moses. The high priestess, Mary Magdalene. The empress, Mary, mother of Jesus. The emperor, King Solomon. The high priest is Aaron, brother of Moses. So, and then for the minor arcana, so for example, the 4 of Cups is called the 4 of Chalices, and it's got Jonah's anger. And it gives you like a little quote. Now, Lord, take away my life, for it is better for me to die than to live. And it gives you the verse of the Bible. So I bought this deck because I thought it was interesting, and I do have a lot of friends that call themselves Christian and that they shun tarot, but they want readings. So I thought this would be a nice deck to use to read with them for. The Ascended Masters Oracle card by Doreen Virtue. I got this on eBay for £9.47. It's used, but it's kind of in good condition. And I thought, oh, £9.97 is quite a good price. It's definitely a real deck. I've swiped the barcode, and it all works. It comes with the guidebook, and it's quite good condition. There's a slight wear at the side, but it's got gold edging, and I just wanted it because it was out of print, and it's Doreen Virtue. This was more like a Firmo buy, but for £9.97, you can't go wrong. Okay, I also bought this deck called the Clay Arcano Tarot Cards. I got it from Etsy, and the person that sold it to me said that she was the illustrator. I paid £27.88, but you can also get this deck on Amazon.uk for £21. So I would say go and get it on Amazon. It's the same deck. It's got the same guidebook, so it's not a, you know, a fake. So it comes with a little guidebook here. Gives you basic meaning to the cards. And at the back of the box, it's quite hard to read because it's got writing on it. But it says, in the silence of the earth, creation begins. The Clay Arcana Tarot re-images the timeless symbols of the tarot through hand-shaped clay. Each figure alive with warmth, patience, and the touch of human hands. As you shuffle and draw, you'll feel the quiet rhythm of growth and the soft whisper of the institution. Magic lives not in distance, but in every gentle act of creation. I quite like creative cards. So I don't know how this was done, but each figure is made of clay. I don't know if it's collaged as well. That's the backs of the cards, like a sun. And they're Rider-Waite-Smith inspired. I love the detail that's gone into each card and the background prompts to try and get it as near as Rider-Waite as possible. But I would recommend that you buy this from Amazon because the seller is selling it on Amazon for cheaper. I will try and leave a link in the description bar if anybody's interested in this deck. And let's have a look at the minor cards. They're also quite detailed. Ten of Wands. Beautiful deck. I'm gonna use this deck in April, May. But I'm looking forward to using it. Beautiful deck. Right, Kickstarter. So I received this Kickstarter deck. Is called the Ordinary Magic Tarot on the 13th of February. I paid a total of £51.54. So I paid £34.94 when the campaign ended, which was €40. And then afterwards I paid shipping, which was €19, which was about £16.60. But this deck was paid for quite a while ago. It's just that the deck's just come, but I still added it onto my February tarot expenditure. So there's 82 cards, deck and guidebook, and it's by E.M. Bello. This is an AI deck, but I think the creator also manipulated some of the AI images. The Ordinary Magic Tarot is an enchanted deck that celebrates the beauty and quiet wisdom of everyday life, inviting you to see the sacred in simple and gentle rituals, tender connections and familiar rhythms that shape your days, etc. And I think this deck came from Spain. So it's got a nice little guidebook, which is quite well written. I love the backs of the deck. Look at the backs of the deck. Beautiful flowers. And it's not in order actually, because I gave it a shuffle and stuff, but I will put it back in order before I use it. But it is AI, but I love it though at the same time. It just looks like a modern day tarot deck of everyday life. I need to do an interview spread of this deck before I work with it, so I will probably note it down in my journal. But this is my Kickstarter deck that I received in February, but this was bought quite a while ago. The final deck that I want to show you is a deck that I actually received on the 2nd of March, and it's called the Luminous Flow Tarot by Ethne. This was a Kickstarter deck. I'm actually using it for the month of March. I'm using it with another tarot deck, but I thought I'd just quickly show you some of the cards. If you want a flip through of this deck, do ask me and I will show you a flip through. But I will talk about this deck in my March journal. It's got a lovely guidebook. I like Ephonie's guidebooks. They're always like nicely written and just gives you enough information. This has got nice font on it. You know, as you get older, your eyes can't really manage the small fonts, but it's really nice. For each card, it gives you a colour illustration, a meaning, the luminous flow affirmation, outright card meaning, reverse card meaning, etc. It's a beautiful deck. I don't think this deck's in order because I've been using it. But look at that. Beautiful blue edges. Beautiful kind of blue backs. Let's bring it down a bit so you can see the cards. Just beautiful. I really like Ephonie's decks. She really puts a lot of effort and stuff into her decks, and I love her guidebooks as well. Look at the Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands. It looks like there's also colour coding in the suits, which I like. So look, the swords are kind of like bluey. Let me see. Yeah, got this kind of bluey sort of purpley sort of colour. This is the Emperor, Hierophant, Lovers. It's just a beautiful deck which I've been using for the last 5 days because today is the 5th, and I will talk about it more in my March roundup. So thank you for watching. I will leave links to the decks and books that I've showcased if they're still available to buy. See you in my next video. Bye.